Hello, everyone. It's me again, Xeno from Lore of Darkness, and I'm in the Chantry once again. But this video, actually, it's not an episode of Chantry lectures or Bloodlines 2 related at all. It is World of Darkness related. Uh, because, well, you probably already saw a title, and that's why you decided to click on this video. And I will be talking about what makes the world dark. What makes the world of darkness actually dark. Or at least partially. That's the intention I have here. But first, a quick disclaimer. I will be mostly referring to the earlier editions of games from World of Darkness. I will be referencing the modern editions also, the fifth editions. I won't be talking about Chronicles of Darkness. This video is about the old World of Darkness. And like I said, mostly about the older editions, but also about the new ones, so as a whole, about the whole World of Darkness. And also before we begin, I want to tell you that I love the whole World of Darkness. Every splat, every part of it, I'm very passionate about this world. I know a little bit too much lore. I mean, this channel is called Lore of Darkness. I have a t-shirt even. So I know a little too much. From the top of my head, I could probably summarize the Book of Nod if I wanted to. But yeah, I love every splat. Werewolves, mages, wraiths, even Kuei-jin, mummies, the immortal ones, everything. From demons to mortals. Every part of it is great, it works well together. Every splat is great for telling great and amazing and engaging stories for viewers, for players that play these chronicles, these games. It's a lot of fun for the storytellers to come up with it, with the stories, and to watch the players shape these concepts that already are established and used by a storyteller to tell this story. The whole world, every splat, tells a story in a different way. Every splat is about something different. A demon is completely about something else than Hunter. Kindred of the East are about something different than Orpheus. But they all have this one thing in common. They are a part of World of Darkness, and they let you be the monster in this universe, this dark world. But let's talk about first what the World of Darkness actually is, for those who don't know, who are new to this beautiful and gloomy world full of things so strange. Even Lovecraft would be scared sometimes, maybe. I love Lovecraft also, so yeah. So, World of Darkness is an world of RPGs, a universe full of, like I said, strange things. And every game in this world, every splat, as I said, lets you play something different. Vampire the Masquerade, you are a vampire. Werewolf the Apocalypse, you're a werewolf. Mummy the Resurrection, you're a mummy. And so on, and so on, and so on. All of these splats have one thing in common. Well, except the demon, perhaps. Because, well, you play as literal demons, eons old beings. From the start of creation, they built a world, so you basically playing fallen angels. Like, literally, there's a Lucifer, Dagon, and other Christian and other religion influences there. So you're literally a demon that's, well, fallen. and is now on Earth. But other plots, well, you are a human, or you were at least, and now you are a monster. You are powerful. You are a step up in evolution, perhaps even in a step up in the food chain. You are above puny mortals. You have amazing abilities. Vampires have disciplines, werewolves have gifts, even wraiths have their arcani. Like, that's how you... Arcani? You know, wraith powers. Every being that originate from human, also demons, but you have these powers that put you a step up in the food chain in this dark world. You are a monster, the thing that other games like D&D allow you to hunt. You hunt vampires in D&D, you hunt werewolves. You can beat them, but here they are whole games about them. There they are just a part of wider system. But here you have a game dedicated purely to vampires, to werewolves, to ghosts, demons, mages, other things. So yeah, you are these monsters. You play as them, drinking blood, eating flesh, ripping bodies of your enemies, creating intrigues, casting powerful spells. You are these, powerful beings. Well, ones are more powerful than the others, but still, you were a human and now you have power, actual superpowers, right? And well, here's the thing. The title of the video says, what puts the darkness into the world? This world of darkness. Why it's so dark if, everything is sprinkled in gore and blood shining on the floor while the moonlight illuminates everything while you dance among corpses of your enemies? That's the premise of this video. I will be talking what makes these games actually dark and why wraiths and vampires, these two systems, Vampire the Masquerade and Wraith the Oblivion, why are they the soul, the essence of World of Darkness? Why are they, the heart, so to speak, the undead or dead heart of this whole world, the true center of this horror? Because Vampire is called a personal horror, a game of personal horror. And Wraith also, a game about loss, about moving on, but not always. Of course, other games can be dark too. I'm not saying Mage can be dark, about the Changeling can't be dark. All these games can be extremely gory, dark, can tell compelling stories. But these two, Wraith and Vampire, why are they, in my opinion at least, the definition of this darkness in this world of darkness? Well, let's take a look at other games. Well, Werewolf the Apocalypse. You play as someone turned into a werewolf. Why have you turned into a werewolf? Well, most likely your family members were in the long lines of, werewolf families, and you inherited this gift of first change, this soul, this body of both spirit and flesh, joined together to protect the world. You are now a proud, if angry, protector of the earth, to save it from the impending apocalypse. In Mummy the Resurrection, you are the chosen warrior, scholar, and 100 of years old being given power to protect the world from impending doom. In Hunter, you are this mortal that just found out that there are supernatural creatures preying on other humans, and you were chosen by an angel to protect the world from. But in Changeling, you are, well, a reincarnation of your previous life when you were also a changeling, when before you were a changeling, when before you were a fae, a magical being. So yeah, and mages are awakened mortals capable of shaping reality with just their will. And why? Well, because they reincarnated from when they were mages in their previous life. You understand where I'm going with this, right? All of these plots, all of these beings, werewolves, changelings, even hunters, they were meant, they be this way. Or at least they were given the opportunity to be this way. Like for hunters, or well, for mages, you can force an awakening. Everyone can do it if they know how to, but this also requires, and forgive my language, a shit ton amount of magical already knowledge to force an awakening. Otherwise, it happens because your avatar from the previous life wants for you to ascend. So you were always this way, you just didn't realize that. Of course, a kinfolk, a werewolf relative, may not become a werewolf, but they are a supernatural creature on their own, actually. They are aware of this dark world. They can become a werewolf. There's a possibility in their blood, in their bodies, in their souls. 5th edition werewolves, well, we don't really know how werewolves are made, but it is said that Gaia chooses you to become a werewolf, so maybe you didn't want it to be. Maybe it was forced upon you. Well, all of these were kind of forced, maybe, because maybe you were previously this thing. There's some of this thing in you already, like for werewolves, mages who reincarnate, or changelings who reincarnate, or 1,000-year-old mummies who, well, choose to serve Matt and protect the world. In many of these games, you are a quote-unquote hero. You still are a monster, but you have, at least, well, by a concept of it, a goal to protect, to save. And every splat sees this differently. Mages do their own thing, of course. Werewolves want to save Gaia from corruption and destruction. Same mummies want to save the world from corruption and destruction, but they do it differently because they are a different type of creature. They have this destiny, this fate brought them here. The circumstances forced them to. Well, wraiths and vampires are little different. And before you ask, Kuei-jin are also, well, kinda reincarnating gods in a way. They were mortals, but not everyone can be a Kuei-jin. Like, not everyone can be a werewolf, or a changeling, or a mage. But, well, vampires, the kindred Cainites, and wraiths, the human ghosts. This fate of undeath, as of, well, vampire undeath, or being a wraith, becoming a wraith, this can happen to everyone. And that's actually my point here. The horror of being ripped out of your life into unlife, or death even. Because, well, how are vampires made? A vampire needs to drink your blood and give you some of theirs. Yeah, that's how it happens. Why should they do it? Well, of course, maybe you were groomed from a little child because you grew up in the long line of embraces and stuff like that. Uh, but most of the time, it actually happens on the sires, the creators of the new vampires' whim. A Toreador just saw you on the street playing guitar at night, and well, yeah, I want you. I like you and I want you. And poof, your life is over. Now you're a vampire. A Bruja may just be, angry, but I have a bad night. Boo! Boo, I'm angry at you. And they go into frenzy. They kill someone and accidentally embrace them. By accident. And boom, your life is over. A gangrel, the same. They caught you in an alley, started feeding. You tried to fight back. Oh, well, you fighting back. All right. Your life is over. You're a vampire now. Same for Nosferatu. Maybe you were just, well, handsome or pretty lady or gentleman. Walking down at night, Nosferatu felt, you're pretty. You're probably a dick. Boom, your life is over. Now you're ugly at top of that. Or maybe you just had skills with computers, with technology, with research, espionage. Boom. Just because they decided they wanted you, that you could be a valuable resource, a pawn. Ventrue, well, I have a successful company. Oh, alright, okay, I hire you. Oh, cool, okay, you're now a vampire. And your company is mine, and your money is mine. But well, you still have your money, but well, you're now a vampire. And in many of these circumstances, it's cool. You have now powers. You have, this strength, this vitality. You're immortal. What more do you want? And well, vampires are cool, right? You drink blood, you walk at night, you dress in trench coats, you have fangs, eternally handsome and pretty you are. You can do crazy juju, jump from roofs and throw cars. And well, that's cool and all, but you're not a human anymore. Your life, your humanity is slipping away from you. Even if you somehow manage to keep your contacts with your family and friends, you will be at one point or another forced to cut those ties. There won't be any more going out to the bar to have a beer. There won't be any more late night game sessions. Oh, well, that may be still a thing, but you at some point have to cut those ties, or else they will get hurt. Someone somewhere will see you as a threat and use them to get to you. That's the existence of a vampire, or you are immortal. That's cool. But your family and friends, they're not. Unless you also make them vampires or ghouls, they will die. You will see your loved ones pass away. You can see your great-great-great-grandchildren grow up. But they will also in 100, 200 years, you will just stand over their grave. Alone. That's the existence of a vampire, and on top of that, you need to harm others to survive. You need to drink blood. Even if the vampire's kiss, the biting and feeding, is pleasurable to mortals, mostly, you're still stealing life from them, even if you're not hurting them per se. Accidents happen. You have a now much darker side to you. You have all these things in life that you bottled up, your frustration, anger, greed, these primal desires, instincts, urges, they now whisper to you, sometimes in a wild growls on the back of your head, or sometimes in a seductive voice. Just do it. You know you want to. And if you give in, you lose this piece of humanity that you have left. And what will you be then? Nothing. A monster. That's why many vampire elders, they don't have, well, much connections to the mortal world. They still may keep their hobbies or their passions to somehow still be at least remotely human. To not, fall into frenzy and die. Well, because they're greedy, they want this immortality. But at some point this love for someone, this ambition to achieve something, this passion about something, for vampires, it's with time becomes an obsession. An obsession so ugly and disgusting that, well, only they can see it as beautiful. Because every other human or anyone actually sees them as, monsters in human skin. And about these voices, this beast inside you, well, it's not like this being was put into you. It was already there. It was now just given a voice and power to actually take control if you're not careful enough. That's what being a vampire is. The horror of being a vampire. You can be anyone, everywhere. A normal James Fagerland, let's say, or James, I don't know, James Wall, yeah, that will be my next vampire character. You are this James Wall just working at a bus station, cleaning buses, going for groceries, walking out your dog. You're just a normal guy, and because an immortal asshole decided just because they want to, they can end your life like that. It will give you opportunities, power, yes, of course. But the price for that will be ultimate. It will cost you your life, your humanity, your feelings, because vampires don't really feel stuff. They feel more of an echo of what they knew as feelings. A vampire can't truly love. They can be obsessed, of course, like Toreadors or Tsimitsi. But the love, this imitation of love, this imitation of life that they have, well, it's fake in a way. You have power, you have everything, you may be anyone, but you can never love and be loved again. Because in vampire society, finding someone who actually cares about you, just because you're you and not because you're useful, it's, well, 99% impossible. That's the reality of being a vampire in World of Darkness. And that's the horror of being a vampire. And this possibility that you can be anyone and your life can end like that, and you're forced into this new existence, also applies to Wraith the Oblivion. Not everyone becomes a Wraith when they die, but, well, everyone can. Not because they want to, of course some sorcerers perhaps, or Giovanni family members want to become Wraiths to linger on, but for the normal person, well, you get hit by a car, you're this John Wall, you get hit by a car, and it's over. It should be blank. Anything, heaven, hell, whatever you believe in. And in a way it happens, but not in the way you would want to. You are dead. You're a ghost, a remnant of yourself. You're a wraith. You awake in this strange land, the Shadowlands, and someone just walks up to you rips your ectoplasmic cocoon and says, "Hey, stop, you're dead. Come with me if you want to live. Live, you're dead." And why this person, this Reaper, they call them Reapers, yeah. Why they do it? Well, because you can be useful, not because they are actually good people, ghosts, wraiths. You can be useful to them. They take you to a hound, the place where wraiths can, linger. And well, your life is over, while vampires can still maintain their mortal connections, even, like I said, the game nights with the boys for some time, actually. Of course, you need to be careful then, but still. For wraiths, it's impossible, unless you become a reason, but that's a whole different story for another video. You're a wraith, you're dead, you're done. Now you have to figure out what keeps you in this world and either solve this, either a problem or a mission or something, to move on to whatever lies beyond the Sea of Oblivion, or you can linger, clinging to these feathers, these chains, theoretical chains, not literal chains, but in a way also literal chains, that keep you here, that made you Wraith, actually, because Wraith is someone who hasn't done everything they should. Maybe you love someone so much, your sister, your mother, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whatever, that you just can't fully die. You are dead, you don't have a body, you are just a remnant. You can interact with them in a way, I don't know, like you can hound them, you send messages, maybe use a medium, but you can't actually touch them unless you possess them, but your life is over and you can either cling to this new existence of yours. Of course, being a Wraith can be cool, it has its perks, you have these powers, like I said, but for Wraiths, well, a Wraith is in even worse situation than a vampire. Because when you are in the Shadowland, you are nothing. Barely a pawn. Barely. You're good enough. You can be used by these Reapers, this caretaker of yours in a way. But, like I said, this Reaper didn't help you out of your cocoon because they are generally good. They can, but most of the time it happens because they have some interest in it. They will tell you, well, this is this, this is this. And they can get paid for it. You own them now. They own you, in a way. If they decide to, they can take you to Stygia, the Wraith city, where you can't see the Skinlands, the living world anymore. You can't peer across the shroud, the barrier. And, well, in Stygia, if you're lucky, maybe you will be put into eternal paperwork. If you're really lucky. But if not, you will be sent to mines. You will be a slave, a thing. And if you stop being useful, they will literally make you into a thing. Into whatever, a chair, an ashtray, who knows. You can be a coin, and you're still there in this coin. It's you. You can scream, but that's all you can do. You're nothing. You're just a pair of glasses, a phone charger, a whatever, wallet, chair, like I said, anything. Because you weren't useful as you. That's how wraiths work, at least in Stygia. The most powerful ones sit on top and try to rule everything. You can run, you can hide, but you either get caught and forced to do things you don't want to do, or become a little thing for them to use, or a worst fate, in my opinion. Well, I talked about the beast of a vampire. With Wraiths, I argue it's worse. Because, well, these urges you had in life, these dark desires, not only they have a voice now, they have a face. And it's your face. This shadow, literally, it's everything you hate about yourself. Everything you didn't do. Every regret, every anger, every piece of hatred manifested. Trying to take control. Not for your own survival like a beast can do. Of course, you can bargain with the shadow to give you some more power, but ultimately, it will take you over. The oldest wraiths are controlled by their shadows. That's why they're such dicks. And those fully overtook by their shadow, they become specters. A ravenous, well, ghost monsters, right? Barely resembling something you might actually think of as a ghost. A transparent person. They're more like Cthulhu monsters, like Cthulhians perhaps even. They can take many forms, but ultimately they are, well, all this stuff that you bottled up, this shadow, this darkness, taking over. Ultimately. While vampires in frenzy will eventually come back to their senses, unless they become a wave. Not Wraith, wave. A specter is the end of the road. You're just a part of a hive mind. Wraith can also be swallowed by Oblivion, and you just, poof, you're gone. Or worse, who knows what. And to summarize these things up, you can have power as a vampire or Wraith. It's all fun and good. But you have to exist, not live, exist with these whispers in your head, with these temptations. And these temptations are not a demon or something from the outside. No, they're you. Because you know you want to, but you know you shouldn't. But still, it's you. This beast, this shadow. It's within you because it's you. Your drive to survive, destroy, kill, primal instincts, dark urges, desires, whatever. And it's my opinion, all of these things I said now about what can happen to a vampire and a wraith, becoming them seems cool at first. You have powers, you have opportunities now. You can become an amazing vampire blood sorcerer and be a chantry regent, have a mansion, loads of books, everything you ever wanted. But one small mistake and you're dead. Either because you're beast, or someone just decided it's enough for you. And you're dead, gone. And you're paranoid. Both as vampires and wraiths. You know, you can't trust anyone. It's not if you can trust, you can't. Unless you have a similar interest or can help each other. But even then, the person that, well, made a deal with you will try to F you up, in a way. To just get rid of you, because, well, vampires are territorial creatures. They don't want another vampire in their territory. They don't want a rival, and wraiths don't want any pariahs. They want interns. They want things. And then if you're not useful, that's that. And this is the horror of being a vampire and a wraith. This existence I described. No matter how cool it may seem, it's dark and cruel at the end of the night. That's all. Just because it can happen to anyone. Anyone can be turned into a vampire by accident or on purpose. And used. Anyone can become a wraith because they didn't want to die, because they still have something here. And because of this love, this passion or hate, you're now in an even worse position than before. You're a thing for someone to use. You're not a person anymore, both as a vampire and a wraith. You're dead, and that's why I think vampire and wraith are the essence of World of Darkness. Because anyone can become them. And that's also another thing. Anyone can become them, and it helps to roleplay as them. You can create any character, anyone, and roleplay them. It helps you get in this character. Maybe put something a little bit of yourself in it. And you can feel like you're in this world because you're role-playing this character with these traits, with this backstory. Anyone. You can do that with the others. Well, for mummies, you need to at least be like 1,000 years old. Mages, sure, you may be awoken by accident, but at the end of the day, it wasn't an accident. Your avatar from a previous life decided, hey, wake up. And there. Werewolves, your family had a werewolf somewhere along the line, and it's most likely that you knew about it, because you're a kinfolk now, and bam, you're a werewolf. Anyone can be a vampire, and that helps with the character creation, in my opinion at least. Of course, you can create amazing and compelling characters for mages, mummies, whatever. Even demons, but you know, demons were never humans. They're demons, just in human bodies, but the original human of this body is gone, most likely. And that's another thing. It's the fact that you can become a vampire. You, the viewer. Maybe we are in this world of darkness. Maybe after watching this video, you will say, I don't agree with him. You go on a, midnight stroll, because why not? To hang out with your friends at the bar. And on the way, you get pulled into back alley, bitten, and wake up with rotting flesh and thirst for blood. That's the horror of being a vampire or a wraith. And that's why I think they are literally the dead soul of the world of darkness, the things that put the darkness in the world. And well, they were the first. Wraith was actually the first, in theory, World of Darkness game. If you know, the game called Inferno was the original concept for Wraith way before the vampire was even in the concepts. It never got published, it got scrapped. Well, then Vampire was created, then Mummy. Yes, Mummy was second in the actual World of Darkness. As a sort of quote addition. Then, of course, werewolves, blah, blah, blah. And wraiths. But, the concept for wraiths was first in Inferno game. Check this out. You can be dead. Of course, and that's obvious. Anyone can become a vampire. Anyone can become a wraith. Anyone can also become a sorcerer, but you're still a human. It's not like nobody can do it. It's easy. And well, that's the whole rant. My opinion on why wraiths and vampires are the soul World of Darkness. Even if you prefer Others Plus, that's perfectly fine. Like I said at the beginning, Others Plus can also tell amazing, compelling stories. They have amazing gameplay, abilities, lore. But yeah, Wraith and Vampire, for me, are what makes the World of Darkness actually dark. For me. And I played a lot of them. That's my opinion. To summarize this, every monster in World of Darkness was, most of them, the playable ones, except demons, were, and still are, in theory, fundamentally human. But everyone can become a vampire and a wraith, and that's scary. That's cool and scary at the same time. Because when you are a vampire and a wraith, or a wraith, you're still, like I said, fundamentally human. You're still there. Like you are still in the vampire. You are the vampire. You are still this human. You are still this ghost, but you're still human. Fundamentally, you're just dead. And well, to end this video, I will use following quote from a great movie. I highly recommend everyone to watch it. See ya, everyone.
Sometimes the world no longer needs a hero. Sometimes what it needs is a monster.